guys, welcome to Clockwork Dandy Noodles for the second breakdown of the Apothecary Diaries number 2. For you guys, it's been one day. For me, it's literally been an hour since I edited the other one and I have had to go straight into this episode. I am thankful for having 3 episodes to break down and I'm very excited to break them down with you. This second episode was so much fun. The tone has changed. It's funny. There's a lot more comedy aspects. I think originally I did see it as a comedy anime and I'm definitely seeing those hints. There are plenty of PG-18 jokes going around in this episode and I'm happy to point them out for you. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and thank you for your continued support. I hope later today you guys are going to tune in for my special video. It's weird because I was expecting to only have one video go out on Monday, but now there's 2. You guys should be watching this in the morning. The big video is going out later tonight. I just need to sort a few things out with it. I don't know how it's going to go, so I'm very nervous. But if you have family for the first time, hello and welcome. I break down anime every single week. 3rd episode goes out tomorrow, which is exciting for you guys. Today's episode question: what is your favourite dinosaur? Because I feel like nobody actually asks this question anymore. For me, I've always liked the Stegosaurus. I just like how big they are. They're just big chunky boys. I like their design. I think I like plates on the back. I don't even know what to call these bone-shaped structures on their backs. So Stegosaurus for me. What is your favourite dinosaur? Hopefully we get some very interesting comments down below. Thank you guys for tuning in once again. This was a fantastic episode. I also noticed, so I want to make a few corrections from episode number 1. Kevin Penkin is listed in the credits. Whether he's just done a few pieces for the show or not sure. He definitely hasn't done the OP or ED. I love him. He's a complete talent. His work for Tower of God and of course Made in Abyss, absolutely talented man. Didn't realise he was credited, so that's one big talent that this show's got already listed. OP now, I want to quickly maybe correct myself, where we saw the transformation and we see what I said was an older MC. I think it's actually her mother. From what we were told, that her mother was also a concubine. Even in this episode, we kind of briefly see her giving some chocolate to Mau Mau and it ends up aphrodisiac. The OP makes more sense if the older lady is actually her and then she's going in to hug her to protect her. Updating myself, I don't think my original idea was correct. We go back to the court struggles. We do learn quite a bit via chats with the other characters. I'm learning, so when it comes to China, where I don't know a great deal of information, I am thankful for the extra information. I don't know if it's annoying to people who already have that knowledge. For me, I am very thankful to learn about ladies in waitings and the fact that the more you have, the better, but you also need to trust all of the people around you. The ladies in waitings act like your own inner court where you can trust them and they work for you. I guess it's like having your most loyal people surrounding you. I am going to struggle with names. Mau Mau and Jinshi are the easy ones. Pink-haired concubine right now. At the moment, she's just going to be the main head lady until I get the names done. I'm not pushing too much at once. I'm not expecting myself to get hold of names just yet because I'm terrible at them and I've only just got my head around Philomela from Ancient Magus Bride. I love the fact that Jinshi quickly realises that if you have knowledge of medicine, you could also have knowledge of things like poisons. You need to keep that person on side. He obviously tries to seduce her, essentially try and keep control. What he's trying to do is have her swooning over him. He will have control, so she's not about to go and make poisons. It's his way of controlling her to ensure that she stays in line. All of the flirtation that we're seeing, essentially just objective. He's not actually going after her because he thinks he's beautiful, because he actually wants to get with her or anything. By the end of it, I'm 100% certain that he's doing it to tease her and he's enjoying the reactions that he's getting because showing as such a beautiful character that everybody gives in and lets him have his own way or they find him beautiful. So he's used to people saying yes. For once, somebody said no to him and he's like, whoa, this is interesting. I like this. This is fascinating to me. That's what I think that relationship has boiled down into, and it's fun to see those two because her reactions are hilarious. Absolutely love seeing Momo's reactions. Just generally, whenever she sees him, the facial reactions are just priceless. Really do enjoy them. I did remember that Momo was testing her medications on herself in episode 1, so the arm thing, completely forgot that that's what she was doing. Essentially making cuts on her arm to try painkillers, try healing balms and stuff, just to see what's working working. She's using herself as a test experiment. The reason why the new servants are not letting her touch anything is because they're like, oh, she's poor, she's been abused, and we don't want her to be lifting a finger because she needs to focus on resting. But at the same time, Momo's getting bored because she's not used to just sitting around doing absolutely nothing. The food tasting bit, if it didn't come with such a high stake, it would be the dream job. But at the same time, we learned that the previous tester can't even move her hands anymore. Dangerous. Somebody's trying to kill somebody. Momo absolutely loving her job though, because again, we know that she's been testing medication on herself. It's a very nice just to see her excited, see her turning into that chibi cat form. I like that little form because you know she's happy, you know she's really having a good time. Essentially the job that everybody normal would be scared about because you're testing for poison. One moment you're having a good meal, the next minute you're not there anymore. Beloved weirdo, absolutely loving the notion, and it's great to see everybody's reactions as well. And for now, I'm going to be using the logic for science. Whenever she does something, it's for science. We do get a brief look at Dad. Last episode, I keep doing that, it's not last week, it's literally yesterday or an hour ago for me. We get a brief look at the dad, and I did say that I didn't have enough information to garner if he had actually sold her off or not, if he had anything to do with the kidnapping. It seems like a pretty okay relationship. He calls her a mad scientist and looks at her with concern as she's getting a snake to bite her, but there's still no hints whether he had anything deeper to do with what's gone on. Jinshi the cunning, he does seem to know a bit. I know he's acting all pretty face, but he also seems to have a bit of a head in him. He knew that the silver would give off a smell if it had poison, so he actually swapped it out for the ceramics just to test her and also to troll her, and I love her reaction when she realised that he's had her. Love, love, love the vase trick, and I love this moment. The moment where she's talking to the head lady in waiting and the reaction. I was about to flip out and say, oh my god, there's bullying going on, she's being mean, but then I realised that she's causing damage because she's just said, I don't get the money, it goes to my captors, they kidnap me, they're not my family, they're benefiting if I get money. Her breaking a very expensive vase is them suddenly getting fined, and I absolutely love that. And it's also information about how it works to give people to the palace, because I'm guessing the normal way is families would send their kids to the palace to work and their earnings go back to their families. Momo doesn't want to take the L and say, yes, actually, I can read, I know medication, let me get more money, because the money's not going to her dad for what we can tell. We don't know if it's going to her dad. It seems to be going to the people who kidnapped her, so she doesn't want them benefiting. And the fact that she breaks it just to find them, it's such a nice moment because she's on the side. Yes, she's trying to be the nice employer, trying to help her employees out and make sure that she knows how to motivate people. But at the same time, it's the right thing to do. Somebody kidnapped somebody and then they've sold them into slavery. It's a very bad thing. So it teaches them right for kidnapping people. So I love the relationship between these two because she's also the head lady in waiting who seems to have a bit more of a head on her. She's also not involved in the aphrodisiac session later. Momo ended up going absolutely stir crazy with nothing to do because everyone's pitting on her. I feel her. She's basically gone from doing a lot of work, having to do all of the laundry work and stuff, sit around and not do a great deal because everybody's doing her work. Now, the absolute confusion on Jinshi's face when she just turns him down and walks off is priceless because he's the kind of person who's never heard the word no, and this is the first time someone's gone, I'm not interested, I'm walking off, go away. Or that shudder as well, the face, every time she has that face, her reaction and her telling him, yeah, go ahead, go and eat the aphrodisiac, it's fine. That was hilarious because those two were now just bantering towards each other. She's being mean to him. He's trying to obviously have a joke and troll her. And her saying you can actually eat it, but make sure you do it on your own watch was hilarious. I love the moment even later where her words haunt him. They're like floating behind him. Like maybe that person's going to come into your chambers tonight. And he literally locks the door. The rhododendron bit, for some reason, I only knew rhododendron was bad because of Sherlock Holmes with Robert Downey Jr., the first movie, because he says that it's used to make formaldehyde, and I can't remember, but I have a feeling formaldehyde is a bad time. You're going to have a bad time if you're on that stuff. I love the fact that there's a simple solution for something that could have been a bloodbath, because a lot of people could have died for something so innocent. The wood is actually giving off fumes and you're all getting sick. It's built up at the end of the episode to be something really big, but in the end there's a simple solution, and that situation has now been put to rest. The moment when Jinshi is realizing that this is the first time somebody said no and he can't figure out why, and it's just the face, It's the fact that he seems to be enjoying being looked down upon so much. Like, he's complaining, I've never been looked down upon so much in my life. But then it's that face. It's like your face doesn't match the words coming out of your mouth. Is it possible our boy is a masochist? Really, really funny. And I love the fact that as well that the guy just leaves. He's still not quite done with his fantasizing, and then he realizes he's on his own. The apothecary scene was very, very nice. I love the animation that they used to go into the room. We also saw that in episode 1 where we go through the streets of China, of her going through an alleyway and then coming out into the main street. Really, really like it. It's just like a kid in a very dangerous candy shop. Her reaction to seeing the things that she loved. I've been 3 months without doing my hobby, doing the thing that I really like, and now I'm suddenly face to face with an apothecary again. Really, really like it. Pretty face Jinshi finally actually having a use. He's able to actually source materials for her, all expenses covered. He's the perfect person to actually have, despite the fact that he irritates her so much. The little flashback with the mother is really nice because it's top marks for storytelling. You don't have to tell me anything. You're just showing me that she was a courtesan, she was a concubine, she gave her daughter some chocolate because she thought it would be nice. Didn't realise it was spiked with the aphrodisiac, and then her daughter ended up tasting it anyway. That also explains how she knows what it tastes like. The PG-18 jokes, there are so many in this last chunk. The first one about the ladies not going all the way. Unexpected, but I guess it makes sense in a show like this. The main lady also laughing at everything. She's got such a nice spirit. I love the fact that people try also to make her laugh. Some of the jokes, actions that Jinshi seems to take seems to be geared towards making her laugh. And I think it's because he's trying to obviously be popular. He's also trying to make sure that she's having a good time, because it would seem that she's the less favoured of the two concubines because the other lady has so many people around her. A lot of the concern he had initially was that she only had 3 people serving her. He wanted to make sure that it was more equal because he was worried that she was being looked down upon in her position for not having too many ladies in waiting. He seems to deep down actually have good motives at heart. We do also learn that he's a test. He's there in the rear court to look beautiful, be a hot face, but also test the loyalty to people, because nobody who is a concubine should be throwing themselves at him. It's interesting to see that's actually his main purpose for being there. A pretty face, but he's having to use what he's got, and that's what we're seeing a lot of in the show, how you'd survive the court. There are absolutely plenty of low-key naughty jokes in this show. One mainly about the emperor being very dull in bed, and then about the duration of how long it lasts in bed. One a little bit later on as well, allowing him to toy with the drug. There is a lot. There's actually more, and I wasn't expecting there to be so many. The VA for Jinshi, I had to quickly go and check. He's not my usual suspects. Normally, if you've got a character like this, my go-to is the guy who voices Al-Hytham. Normally, it's one of 3 people. Sometimes it's Levi's voice actor. Sometimes it's the guy for Erwin. I think it's Ono Daisuke. Normally, it's those guys. It's actually the guy who did Aqua for Oishi no Koi for you guys. For me, I recognise him from a few low-key shows. He hasn't been in much, but the voice is perfect. This is a nice role for him, and he's very seductive. The seduction moment went over her head. This is making me go, whoo, sweaty a little bit, sweating just mildly. It goes over her head because she chalks it up to the fact that he just wanted to have the drug and not her. I think he was most likely toying with her for those reactions. Next episode seems to be suggesting we're dealing with a ghost or a supernatural. Naturally, there's going to be a logical answer. Most likely it's a hallucinogenic, maybe. Maybe somebody slipped a drug or 2 into someone's drink and they're seeing things. Can imagine that's probably what's going on. Really enjoying the show. I'm loving the comedy. I'm loving the relationships between characters. It's beautifully handled. I can't complain at all about how gorgeous the show looks. The music is great, and if Kevin Penkin is in there somewhere, really need to hear it. So maybe he's produced a piece for the show. Very exciting. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope you guys are enjoying these breakdowns. Lucky you guys, you get basically free on the trot, but it will eventually go to Sundays only, so you'll have the Sunday slot. And thank you for tuning in again, and let me know your favourite dinosaur down below. Have a good day, guys. Bye bye.